Alright, so here we go.
And now, new AI speed cameras are being installed on roads that will be able to spy inside your car. Now, these new cameras are set to be rolled out across the U.S. to catch motorists using mobile phones at the steering wheel and failing to wear seatbelts. Now, this invasive technology is being rolled out in the UK.
And see, like I said, they try, like homeboy. He's like, so when he's talking about whatever, getting the jab, we'll leave it at that. He's like, yo, we're saving lives. I'm like, nah, they said their own decision, not mandatory, not the government. Between you and your doctor. And he's like, what is seatbelts? Now he asked me about helmets, right? Like motorcycles. So what I was like, yeah, I would wear, da da da. He said, so see you. Now I said, I would. I always would. I always, cause I'm like, we're '80s kids. Me. I'm like, what are you talking about? I always thought it looked cool, to wear a helmet, especially, back in like '86, '87, reading Cycle Motorcycle magazine, motorcycle, whatever. What is it? Cycle. Remember the name of it? You see the new Ninja, whatever, or the, whatever, the Hurricane. They got the leathers on and the helmet, or just like road racing now with the the Moto GP rather. Yeah, as a kid, they scraping their knee with all that, that look cool. So, or just regular, just with your, put it like this. I always thought it looked cooler with a helmet, not without a helmet. You know how people don't want to ride. I always myself, I don't ride. I had a scooter, but I always wore my helmet. It always just, I like it. Just always, it wasn't even about safety to me. It just looked, you got your helmet matching your, and this was back since I was like 12 or 13. So and I'm like, that's I had to. He's like, so you agree with motorcycle law? I said no. You didn't listen. You cut me off. You asked a gotcha question. I said yeah. You didn't let me finish. I said no. I said I always thought helmets look cool. I don't like it. Now maybe like when you're at a bike rally and you're only doing 5 miles an hour. Because it's packed with 1,000, 100 bikers or whatever, and you're not riding for real, yeah, you ride with no helmet or whatever, because like Sturgis or Black Biker Week in South Carolina, we used to go there when I was in at Fort Bragg. Yeah, you just you ain't riding for real, but or wherever there's a bike meet. But otherwise, you riding by yourself or with your homies or whatever. Yeah, I always out myself. What about seatbelts? Nah, it shouldn't be a law for kids, I guess, and babies, but you adult now. It's not the government and pulling people over the tickets. Is like no. There's nothing. And I heard as a kid, not just from what's it called, them PSAs, after school special. The state troopers. They get to see the worst because really they get there before the ambulance. Especially the real bad highway accidents. Yeah, the state troopers see the worst, but that's up to the person. If you don't wear your seatbelt, it's on them. That's on you. There should be no seatbelt laws. All this, yeah, they try to, like I said, everything they do. It's communist Democrats when it's supposed to be for safety, and they're trying to force it. No,
UK first and will make its way across to other countries, and soon after it'll be here. It's already been passed to law. And the new AI technology is enabling police not only to catch speeding drivers, but also clamp down on motorists distracted by their phones, even if they have them on their lap while at the wheel. And the move has raised privacy concerns before AI cameras become a substitute.
any Democrat can't. They're going to be like, we're going to say no. Just point out every black city, like I said, Atlanta, and they're purposely letting people like, no, nope, you don't want to put, but you want to ticket people that say the few lives. Look at the statistics compared to quadruple shootings every weekend, and this and that. And no, it's not the gun fault. Y'all are little. We know for like I just showed you one of the woke DAs, Pamela Price, in my other video, and Gavin Newsom, the governors. These Democrat governors is like, no, nope, you're not gonna clamp down on regular people for just, I don't like it when people do stupid stuff in front of me. Cause like I said, I always back before smartphones when I just had a regular, like anybody else. I would always pull over, even if I'm on the highway. I would pull over before I use my phone. Or somebody told back then, I got a girl, it's like 0304. Why you didn't answer the call? I was on the highway. Or I was driving. I had to pull over. Or I knew I was close to my destination and I knew I'd just answer when I get back, when I get to where I'm going, 3 minutes later. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I'm not finna pick up the phone. But we know that we don't need. We already know what they in the UK. The communists all over. They're trying their last. This is their last dying push, and they're not. It's not going. People got to get together.
For traffic officers stopping suspected motorists who might also be drunk driving or speeding or a traffic violation. You'll get a ticket or a potential arrest for an offense by simply a snapped image. This sounds like a nightmare at best. I think it's really bad.
And the nightmare that keep the courts small. I mean, yeah, the misdemeanor courts locked up unless they're just like I said, they're just gonna no convict people no matter what. Because otherwise, we got too many people who gonna fight that shit. It's a waste of time, a waste of money.
And extremely scary, much like the book 1984. At least a quarter of the 44 police forces in England, Wales, and Scotland have already deployed these cameras, which can catch motorists using mobile phones at the wheel. If caught, drivers holding a handheld device behind the wheel can face 6 penalty points and about £200 fine, which is about 250 US dollars, and increased to £1,000, which is about 1,300 US dollars, and a driving ban if you're taken to court. Now, 11 police forces have deployed road cameras developed by a census, which captures images of vehicles as they pass. One is from a shallow angle to see the phone in the driver's ear, and a second is taken from a steep angle, which detects the device if it's on your lap. AI software analyzes all these images and flags those where the driver is suspected of holding a mobile phone and not wearing a seatbelt. Encrypted, what are called violation packages, I'm sure we're going to see that here soon with a different name, are sent to the police to decide whether to prosecute. To counter privacy issues, a police officer reviews anonymous pictures without any identification, which features such as a number plate.
And then on top of it, they try to sound smart in the comments section. Which is it, y'all? That they're gonna try to play that game. Y'all so-called support. No, it's a different. We're not stupid. Y'all are stupid. Like I keep telling you, you're not gonna play Jedi mind trick games. You're not gonna get us with gotcha questions. We know how to really regulate. It's just that's just way too far. Shouldn't even be in discussion. And like I said, over here, anybody, I bet I'm finna have more money pretty soon, and I ain't got nothing to do. Anybody supporting this shit, you finna go. I guarantee it. You getting out of here. Anybody that goddamn supporting this, you're a communist. You seen the title, but the other one, this one from 7 days ago, the one I really wanted to talk about though, it shows really how to open your car door. And here it goes again. It keeps showing this ad. Call your doorbell camera company.
The Supreme Court just undid the electric vehicle mandate.
But it shows, like I said, they're not pressuring and really all that shit comes from out again Germans. Klaus Schwab and we must trust. Seriously, this nigga sound like a real live movie villain, Klaus Schwab. And he got the look, and all he needs is a monocle. Instead of he wears glasses, he needs a monocle in his left eye or something, and a scar. He needs a scar on his face on over the other eye. One of them long scars that go over the whole eye that he got when he was young from doing some evil shit. Fighting with the Nazis. He was a Nazi. That's all he needs, right? And they're trying to push the whole world into this shit. And that shows you what China look like now.
The Supreme Court's recent ruling on the Chevron deference could affect federal regulations if everything.
You see how somebody horn just started going off? These motherfuckers scared. Yeah, we coming for you, bitch asses. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it, and that's the
Power
end
plant
of it.
emissions to electric vehicles to
So this
transportation.
showing they're not playing. This is little by little. They can do this right now. They're already doing this. That's how you. They know the people are behind them. We don't have to, you know, no shenanigans. We don't have to do shenanigans.
Lines. And this could be pretty
And
good
like I
news.
said, the whole time we was always in control. That assassination, that was real, but attempt. But yeah, we're coming. You're done, bitch boy.
Changes the mandate for the Green New Deal and electric vehicle mandates. This is a win for consumers to choose their own independence machines or vehicles. I'm going to start
And
calling your
again, it's
vehicle
just
an
like the
independence
what I was
machine.
talking about, the hair. Yeah, independence. That's why it's not about, oh, you're a bad driver. Yeah, I drive better than all of them. They're mad. They just don't want you to have this your freedom. And like I said, they don't want you to have, back then when I needed them to work. They don't want you, if it was up to them, I'd be like one of them dudes or either dead, you know. 'Cause like I said, back then all the jobs were too far, but I would just buy a ragged. I did. I bought like a $300 car, ragged as fuck. I rode it to that shit just fell apart. It was like 3 or 4 years. It got me to work. Got me to. I was in college. Got me to college. Matter of fact, that's how I found out about the barber college, the one I went to when I started cutting my own hair. Look, the alarm went off again. That's how I found out about the barber college. Because I'll be honest, even though I was older, that $300 car was ragged. It ain't had no muffler. It's like an '86, and so that's why I parked it all the way because I'm in college. I'm 25, but all these 18, 19. And really, I shouldn't have been talking to nobody anyway, but I just didn't want nobody to see my raggedy car, so I didn't park where everybody. And this is like UAB, all these young kids, but it wasn't a big deal. But my point is, you ride it. Yeah, that was you drive it. The women still on me though. It didn't matter. The girls in class still on me. They was saying I'm not a loser like you. On somebody else. Try to get them to shut up. This car was red. As a matter of fact, it didn't have a parking brake. I had to park it up against and turn my wheel to the curb because it would keep rolling. It never did. But all I had to do was just turn it to the curve. And as you're parking this way, you just turn it this way, and your front wheel is up against the curb. Now, if it's somewhere, in a parking lot, a regular parking lots are always level. So, you good. That shit was raggedy as fuck. But you fucking, losers like you. But anyway, they just did once. Yeah, so they didn't realize I would do that. I just got there. They think, oh, you got to have. No, I said, I got to get to work and get to school because I'm thinking about my goals. It is more important than to have a nice car right now. This $300 car, I'm gonna ride it till I finish.
I'm going to start calling your vehicle an independence machine. Now, courts will have more to say in interpreting the rules on everything from EPA's latest effort to curb power plant emissions to the Federal Energy Regulation Commission's orders. This is going to take some time to undo. However, Senator Ted Cruz explains what this is all about. The Chevron decision created something that is called the Chevron deference. Now, what is a Chevron deference? It's important to know that. It was a doctrine that was said that the courts will defer to federal agencies on rules and regulations, so as long as that rule and regulations is, in quote, reasonable, Cruz said. What it did is give enormous powers to unelected bureaucrats and Chevron. And you can trace in every single direct line the rise of the administrative state, the rise of unelected bureaucrats issuing rules that are incredibly costly to you, the American citizen, incredibly harmful to the American people, and you can trace that rise to the Chevron doctrine, Cruz stated. The courts would refer to the ruling in handling unelected bureaucrats enormous amounts of power to regulate American lives. The Supreme Court last week overruled Chevron. What that means now is that Congress, its elected members that you elect, will have to make the policy decisions that impact American people, not the armies of bureaucrats who have no democratic accountability, who are completely unelected but appointed. Now, elected officials don't always make the best decisions, we know that, but it's better than someone saying, here's the new rules.
And we can get rid of them. See, as we'll say, these bureaucrats is they there for life. Federal job. They get a federal employee.
And too bad for you. Well, some of those initial rollbacks include the EPA's role in cutting carbon emissions from power plants, as well as regulations to encourage electric vehicles. There are wide reaching implications for oil and gas industries because it will make it more difficult for federal agencies to regulate the industry based on their interpretation of ambiguous laws. EV regulations are facing massive changes or removal following this rule, and these regulations could face challenges that might reach the Supreme Court as soon as this fall. And the EPA, or the Environmental Protection Agency, power plant regulations and broader climate regulations also stand on shaky ground. This shift could significantly impact the push for green energy solutions in the United States. Whether you like them or not, they need to be passed by Congress, not by some appointed official. The ruling adds to the already heated debates about whether the EPA has the authority to regulate emissions from vehicles at all. And the Biden administration's strict tailpipe emissions standard has become vulnerable. They have had success watering down the EPA tailpipe emission rules in the past, and some of their challenges are still pending and could be subject to the Supreme Court Chevron decision. David Pettit, senior attorney for climate and energy with the National Resources Defense Council, predicted that critics would use this Chevron decision to launch new attacks on vehicle rules that regulate greenhouse gases. This gives you a chance, actually, to talk to your elected officials and tell them what you want, one way or the other. At least they get to hear what you have to say, and they know that your vote counts. A 26-state coalition filed a legal challenge to the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals against the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, to block the agency's new fuel economy requirements for passenger cars and light trucks, which the agency had finalized on June 7th. The rule will require automakers to adhere to the industry-wide fleet average, approximately 50.4 miles per gallon for passenger cars and light trucks by 2031, a move that critics say would force car companies to drastically increase the share of their fleets to electric vehicles. And none of the manufacturers meet that 34.5 miles to the gallon that we're at right now. In turn, this would negatively impact consumer pocketbooks and American energy independence, and basically it's going to cost you more for vehicles and you'll be forced to go to electric cars. Hence, we want to see what the Supreme Court says on this one. Now, in addition, this is a win for the automotive aftermarket. The High Court has provided increased regulatory certainty to small automotive parts businesses around the country, including the specialty automotive aftermarket companies that have been adversely impacted by the federal regulations overreach and would put a lot of small companies out of business, which would affect labor and, of course, potentially your job. Could this be the end of the electric vehicle mandate? Well, the Supreme Court ruling certainly opens the doors for the mandate to be dropped. We are not there yet. We will keep you posted as this unfolds. Subscribe and follow us so you don't miss any updates.
All right, then, like I said, these people. This is just the beginning. This is just a taste of what y'all gonna go through. I'm telling you, I'm glad y'all stupid enough to still think y'all in control and want to keep talking and think you're safe. You keep talking shit and it's thinking you in a safe spot. Like nigga, you just don't know. But let me see what of these shows. These new guys they get this show. I never got to do with it now. I wanted to. You just see what I wanted to show you is like I said, and then you know what the guys, uh, I was a commo guy, right? And that's what I'm talking about. The 35 pounds is the minimum in the 82nd, right? Look at her. But I had girls in my unit look like her. Like I said, I was in the MI unit. So it was always females. But no, because she's small, right? At C-17, I test jump. We were crash test dummies back in the day. They in '94 they wasn't jumping out of them yet. They was having problems. But it's like I said, it was just everything just so happened. I always would just be in the right spot and know the right people. So and some people looked at it, like, oh, because if you heard what the problem was they were having, you might not want to be a crash. I call us crash test dummies, but because that's literally what they used to test. They was using the same dummies they use in the car accident because they weigh as much as a human, and they're pushing them out. And like I said, my shit weighed about 100 pounds, over 100. I know for a fact, and I show you how you carry them. In your rucksack. Yeah, this is. I wonder. You know what? I'm pretty sure they was woke military. Let me watch this right quick. Yeah, this
Today
ought to
we're
be
going to be
funny.
talking about the 3 things you should know before going to airborne school in the Army. But without further ado, let's get to it.
It might be the same.
Most important things you should know before airborne school. So before we get into that, guys, a little background on us. I did 4 years active duties to 68 whiskey. Got out as a sergeant. Recently, just joined the Army Reserve, so I have that reserve knowledge as well as active under the belt, and they're going to be hitting on. Click the bell button. So, video guys, we're going to go over the 3 things. Number 1, the last one is going to be the most important, so stay tuned for that because it's very good information and it'll help you out in the long run. But number 3 right now is how physically demanding it was. So you guys want to hit on?
That's man. See, I told you woke military. That no offense to them guys. Back in our day, it was a piece of cake. And I went in fucking July. This time of year. Matter of fact, I did. This in '94, Columbus, Georgia. You know how hot it is? It still was a piece of cake. Is the hardest part is actually going out the door. If for most people, it wasn't for me, but I would say that's the hardest part is actually looking down and this is the and jumping out. I just started talking about that. I was, whatever. But what the hell are you talking about? That shit is the new age people.
On that? It's just a lot of running, pretty much.
You run the airborne. It's literally called the airborne shuffle. They told us that before you get there. That was one of the selling points. Don't worry about it. You only run the airborne shuffle. It's the slowest pace. Matter of fact, it was so slow I couldn't. I literally couldn't stand it because it was way too slow for me. Not a lie. I'm not lying. Now Fort Bragg, yeah, Fort. If you go into Fort Bragg, yeah, it's. But like I said, it's almost like it ain't no almost. It's like why they keep being so amazed. Like when I heal, it's like just I just was in so good a shape. They think they tried to destroy everything, but it ain't worked.
A couple months before they actually get into airborne school. Yeah. And that's where complacency gets in. So
I mean, but see, it make it so bad. I didn't know nothing about airborne school. I told you they came and recruited us, and everybody thought I didn't, sign up for real. They thought I just wanted to get out of PT that day because this was Augusta, Georgia, where my AIT. And they're like, hey, these people want to talk. Y'all form up. These people, okay. And like I said, I tell everybody, she's like, it was. Matter of fact, she was kind of chubby, like an E6, E7. She was a little fat little, kind of sergeant. They came because they needed commo people throughout the whole division. And, but either way, she was like, literally we just run the airborne shuffle. It was too slow for me.
kind of just got to keep that running mindset. Okay, sweet guys. So yeah, if you're barely getting ready to go to airborne school and you're not a good runner, now's the time to practice.
Hey, maybe he's talking about people who's not in the army at all. Because I know people you can. I didn't know, but you can have it. The recruiter can put you, but I guess there's people who knew about that stuff. But I didn't. I ain't know shit about it. None of it.
That you're going to be safe, and that there's probably no possible way this parachute could fail you. It's probably very, 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 very
They
rare.
teach you all that. That's the all of that. That's everything. If it, I never got hurt, and I got a whole bunch of more. Matter of fact, remember I was telling you. I told you I made a video about 2 years ago. No, I had that Nissan. So that was like last year. I was working with two guys. They're still reserves, and one was a chief. And I knew they did that on purpose. Remember I told, because like I said, by 3 years I know everything. But well, not everything. I'm talking about I want to, I'm gonna be a chief. One of them, He's a black. He was cool. He's younger than me, obviously, but he actually was happy because he was trying to tell his coworker. They worked at a gas thing. The Both of them reserves, black dudes, and he's like this. See, I told you because he finally. I guess he was talking about how tough like being in them type of units in the 82nd and stuff like that. And I said some things that to me it was just it's no different than talking about walking up the street. That's what I'm saying. I don't realize the stuff I be talking about to y'all sounds impossible, or or either y'all don't understand. That's why, like, even at these labor finder jobs, like slow down, man. You ain't gotta work. I'm like, you're younger than me. You're half my age. You're 25, but they don't understand. And honestly, like, I don't. And we are rare. You don't see this many. You don't run into them like that. Because remember that they'll have people that even people that have been to Afghanistan, but they weren't in the 82nd. They're like probably some kind of supply thing, or whatever. Or they might be maybe I can't remember what the. I don't think they none of, but they just not on our level. And the mentality, that's why I keep telling you, the mentality is totally different. To me, this is just, I had to think about it. I do. Every once in a while, I'm like, wait a minute, they don't understand. They're not prepared for this. But it's not my fault either. It's like you shouldn't be spying on me and following me. So that's definitely not my fault. And especially the black folks. Remember, yeah, that's exactly. So you can imagine what I went through when I got back there. Like, especially niggas that knew me, but I wasn't acting like I'm different or special. I made sure to, I didn't, stifle myself, but I'm not, oh, he just got there telling people he just got out the military. I'm like, what that's supposed to mean? I'm not for this, what? I'm not that guy to go around fighting everybody. No, we gonna fight this somebody. This is same high school shit. Even though, you know, even though we're too old for it, that's what I'm saying. We got responsibilities. Ain't nobody in this high school shit no more. We supposed to be making money, nigga.
But trusting your equipment will help alleviate anxiety and like fear of falling. And I'm through the school already. I don't know how or where he would go, because like when he would go like into the days, there'd be fucking stairs, but there'd be no fucking wheelchair accessibility. So I don't know where he would go like during the days. I'm pretty sure he would just stay there.
What are they talking about?
That's actually the way you feel like you're falling. Just like go limp in that direction. Yeah, so they will teach you how to properly land, but it's your job to.
Nah, I would say that part is true. I mean, with everything he said, but maybe I didn't know who they're talking to. They might be talking to people who not even in, who talking to a recruiter, and they know that. Because I knew one guy, he knew he was gonna go to airborne school. And I didn't even know what the hell. He was a black dude. We was in basic, and it was a Saturday. We were off phase, so we had a little bit more freedom. The drill sergeant wasn't watching us like that. We wasn't nothing to do. But he's running up and down the outside stairs, right? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? He's from Brooklyn. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? It's Saturday. Everybody in the barracks chilling. He's like, gotta go airborne, G. Gotta go airborne. What the fuck is airborne? It's in my contract. Okay. And then when I finally went airborne, a couple of months later, and they airborne shuffle. I was like, too bad dude did, or his recruiter didn't tell him. It really ain't that you ain't shit. You already, as far as running, you good. You ain't got to do all this. He didn't know, but I didn't know either. He thought it was, but I guess it was. But maybe like these dudes, he was just telling them it's a lot of running. It is, but it's real slow. It's the airborne shuffle. This shit is annoying if you're fast. It's like this shit was annoying. God damn, when y'all speed it up, shit. But anyway, I was just showing how you walk. What he's talking about, see the reserve, this other video, he's got your reserve right there and all that, and your ruck is between your legs. And mine was 100 pounds that one jump. Oh, so the dude, back to the dude last year, the black dude. He was cool. He was cool as fuck. He was like a blast from the past. And for him, he finally had somebody to back him up to his coworker. Because matter of fact, he had to leave to go to weekend drills up in Maryland or something like that, and he had to leave the last day. But anyway, he's like, how many you got? I was like about 80. He's like, I got 117. And at this point, if this was last year, he probably joined. He ain't even joined the military till like 2001 or two or something, even later. Because I think he only got like 18 years, right? And so that mean he, and this is 20, and that was last year, 2023. He joined like 2004. I'm like, I said, yeah, you got me. Then I ain't think, again, I ain't think about it till after I left. I'm like, wait a minute, I was only in the 82nd, 3.5 years. I got over 80 jumps. Oh, if I can remember, 60, 80. Yeah, that's because they didn't count them. Remember I told you the S2 Air was our homeboy. It's another black dude. He's an E7. He was super cool. But yeah, he would come in there, like I said, when we be in there. And my sergeant was his homie. These were black NCOs. That, he just stick his head in there. Yeah, hey, what y'all doing? What they doing? No, he pointing at it. What they doing? Nothing right now, for real. Hey, I need y'all to jump. Then my sergeant, go get y'all rooks. Yeah, go get your gear ready. Bring them downstairs. Like, God damn. So it's like, yeah, jump after jump after jump. Because basically, it's like anything, like I told you about anything, government. It's the same thing. If you order all these shoots, he had ordered like 80 shoots, and they ain't got enough people. They could just go around and we're privates, just any private, in our unit. Hey, hey, if you ain't doing something official, hey, come here. Yeah, literally. One time I had just come from the chow, and I knew it. And first sergeant was coming, and he was like in between me and the barracks, and I was going to my room from the chow hall. There's nothing I could do. I wanted to just, I don't know. It's like I couldn't, you can't, yeah, like, damn. And I knew it. And sure enough, hey, come here. Damn. And I knew it. What you doing? And honestly, I think I did have a date or so. I'm like, man, I'm finna go out. But, on the inside, nothing. It was about 5:40, and I just got through eating. All right, you're going to be on the jump tonight, yeah, TOT like 2:30 in the morning, but we started getting ready about 7 o'clock. It's like, damn, that I thought about it. He's trying to compete. Like, oh, I got hit. He does got more than me. But I'm like, it took you 17 years. I did this in 3 years, probably less. But yeah, over 60. But anyway, I ain't even cooked my dinner yet. I'm finna go in here.